A government-funded $240,000 Tesla disaster. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to a new episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because, well, a few viewers sent me this article wanting me to have a look at it, and there's a few interesting things here, and pretty sad, actually. So, I'm sick of this. Adelaide dad's $240,000 18-month Tesla disaster. 240 grand. He spent 240 grand getting these Powerwall bloody batteries put in his house. How in the world is that ever going to make sense? How is it ever going to make sense? And a big chunk of this was funded by government loans. So, taxpayer funding for such hubris. So, an Adelaide dad is considering legal action against Elon Musk's Tesla after an 18-month nightmare. Well, good luck to him if you want to. It's not like Elon Musk is inexperienced in legal action. Chris Fergaria, 33, says he is at the end of his tether and simply wants a refund from the electric car giant, which has failed to fix ongoing problems with his off-grid battery setup for the past year and a half. So why is he going off-grid? I mean, if you're going to go... I don't know. I honestly want to get panels eventually, once we finish the second stage of our renovations, because I have an office at home and we'll use the power. But I can't be bothered getting batteries. If I want to keep going, I'll just hook up the generator I've got sitting out there. It's going to be a lot cheaper than $220,000 worth of Powerwall batteries. It's just nuts. I can get a $700 Jenny and a few bloody containers full of petrol, and that'll last me if there's ever a blackout. And I can use the petrol in the car or the lawnmower if I'm not using it all the time. So, I mean, I had when we were renting an office, here's a story time, when we had a little office in a retail shopping centre, and they gave us a notice, we're going to cut power off from this time to this time for a whole half a day. And I think, oh how am I going to keep working? I better get a generator. I talked to my mate, he was a Sparky, so he lent me his generator he had at home. I filled it up with petrol and I was there waiting. It's like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'd spent more money on the bloody petrol that we used for 30 seconds. I said, well, you know, I got one of the staff to make me a coffee using my coffee machine to at least justify having this bloody generator there. I didn't even need it. I was so disappointed. And my mate was happy because he got a full tank of petrol in his Jenny. Anyway, an IT expert had the 10 battery system installed in early 2020 in order to both power his small business and family home from the property. That makes sense. But Mr. Fergaria says the system has caused nothing but headaches since day one, with 100 to 200 power outages in the first 2 months alone. I mean, I've got a UPS in the next room. It's 1,000 kilowatts. It's hardly anything, but it's enough for me to power down my computers when I lose power. 1 to 200 outages in a month alone. I'm running off construction site power poles right now, and I'm not getting that. Sometimes lasting up to 8 hours. Numerous burnt out devices and tens of thousands of dollars in lost income. Why? Okay, you go off grid for a safety factor, I guess. You know, you want to be removed from the grid or disconnected. Maybe you just don't trust it. Still, it's super stressful for the family. Well, this is intermittent power. This is what you're getting, guys. This is the future. Hey, Victoria, they've gone down the left path. And I'm not talking about Labor. I'm talking about the Socialist Alliance increasing their vote. This is what you'll get with state-run renewables. It was never mentioned that was a risk for us. It's not something I would wish upon anyone. I mean, this sucks. It really does. We've had whole nights with no power. Well, why doesn't he buy a generator? I'd be buying a generator now and running off that. Or connecting to real power. We've had to send workers home, had business interrupted. Tesla has never said they would reimburse us. Yeah, why would they? You've got to sue them for it. It's Tesla. Come on, you got to watch the Common Sense Skeptic to get an appreciation of what Tesla's really like. You know, Elon, cares about Elon. That's what he's doing. Okay? Don't kid yourself, guys. So, on its website, Tesla describes the Powerball as a battery that stores energy, detects outages, and automatically becomes your home's energy source when the grid goes down. Okay, I mean, wow. How often does the grid go down? I remember as a kid, we had blackouts in Victoria all the time. Now, looking back, my understanding is a lot of that was union-driven. So there you go. Well, guess what they're going to have again in Victoria? Just wait and see. Oh, boy. Unlike generators, Powerwall keeps your lights on and phones charged without upkeep, fuel, or noise, it says. Pair with solar and recharge with sunlight to keep your appliances running for days. I mean, yeah, that's just spin. It's just spin. I mean, it sounds good, but it's just spin. You can't trust it. Powerwall reduces your reliance on the grid by storing your solar energy for use when the sun isn't shining. Use Powerwall alone. He spent 220 grand on this, guys. $220,000. That is insane to invest in this. I mean, wouldn't you take the money, and I don't know, you want to be environmentally conscious, buy shares in a company that produces solar panels or I don't know, some renewable thing that you believe in, that pays a dividend, and then use that to pay your power bill, your normal power bill. Or maybe buy some carbon credits to completely offset, to make your business completely carbon neutral. It's not that expensive if you want to do it. Not this. Not this, but then, Powerwall reduces your reliance on the grid. Yep. Use Powerwall alone or combine it with other Tesla products to save money, reduce your carbon footprint, and prepare your home for power outages. I mean, all these things here, these batteries, you do not need them. You do not need them. I don't know where he's living, but I don't think Adelaide, South Australia, if he's Adelaide, he's nowhere near that remote that he needs to be off-grid. That's insane. That is insane. We've got electricity in Australia, guys. So all of this is unnecessary. This is all additional embodied energy that's completely useless. It's not necessary. It's not like there's going to be one house is going to reduce the load on the generators. But while Tesla claims it can do off-grid 10 Powerwall setups, there are only a handful around the world. Most are backed by grid electricity. Well, there you go. Papering over any outages. Mr. Frugaria feels like he paid to be part of R&D for the company. Well, you're going with Tesla, guy. It's not... I mean, is Tesla a good brand? It's just hype. His bloody... the rocket tech is all, Lockheed Martin stuff from years ago. It's not that revolutionary. The tunnel is a complete joke. The Hyperloop is like 100-year-old patent that has not gone anywhere. Self-driving is bullshit. I mean, come on, it's glorified whoop-de-doo plus cruise control. So what's the love there? The panels that they make, they're all imported from China. The batteries, aren't they all Panasonic, made by someone else? And look at his AI bot. His robot. I'd be going with another brand. I wouldn't be trusting Elon. Maybe it's because I've been watching too much Thunderfoot and Common Sense Skeptic. You want to go Japanese or German, okay? At the beginning, there were actually only 3 10 Powerwall installs in the world that were off-grid, he said. They probably have the exact same problem. Oh, mate, this sucks. After moving into the new property, he needed more electricity than the standard 63 amp feed from the street in order to power both his business and home. But upgrading the grid supply would have cost us a lot of money to rip up the garden. He spent 220 grand. Well, he got a government loan for it. 220 grand for this. He didn't want to rip up the garden. Oh, dearie me. I mean, come on. God. What? Is this Mrs. Hyacinth, this bouquet keeping up appearances? Oh, we can't rip up the garden. Get 3 amps in here. Dig a bloody trench. You do it. Come on. You repair it. It's what you got kids for. Put them to work. We were probably spending nearly 10 grand on electricity a year across the business and home, he said. 10, that's, yeah, I mean, that's a decent amount. But that's what, 22 years to pay back this Powerwall? What's the lifespan of it? Until you need to re-energize it. Until the batteries stop working. We worked out we could do a large solar system which could deliver the 200 amp feed, be able to pay itself off and be off the grid. Yeah, but this is the thing. The rate that they're selling this stuff back, it's all bullshit and artificial. They went with a verified Tesla installer to set up the system, comprising 220,000 of batteries, solar panels and wiring. Of that, $150,000 was from the South Australian government-backed solar loan. Now, here you go. This is it. This is government money. Okay? Government money right here. He only put 70 grand in himself. $150,000 of state money. Now, do you want tax dollars being spent on this? Or even if it's lent out like this? This is what it is. This is the problem. This is all this touchy-feely, nice stuff. If he wants to do it, pay for it all yourself. The government should be getting out of this sector. It's insane. It's all just juicing up Elon Musk's bloody Tesla stock. Let the market decide. We don't want the market here in Australia, do we? I'm most certainly in the minority in Australia, and those of you that agree with me, I think we are in the minority as well. People love this type of intervention, okay? So think about it. When you're paying your taxes, this is what it's going to, among many other things. Tesla was fully on board. Of course they would. Of course they're going to say it's going to be fine. They're not going to say, oh, it may be shithouse. Yeah, it may not work, mate. Yeah, come on. Tesla soon worked out that the system was being overloaded due to having too many Powerwalls connected at once. So, have they even tested it in the factory? I bet you they didn't. But after 18 months of attempted firmware fixes, it hasn't solved the problem. I mean, all the Tesla factories, the Gigabattery or the Panasonic factories that are building these batteries, they'd all be main power. They wouldn't be running on this stuff. Okay, this is just a gimmick. You don't need it. When you're in suburbia, in Adelaide, you don't need it. I mean, come on. These solar grant, $150,000 loan for solar panels. You should be spending 10 grand, maybe 20 grand, if that. What type of power are you using at your house that's that expensive? What is he, arc welding there? He's an IT expert. I mean, how much power do you need? Servers don't use that much anymore, do they? Having so many Powerwalls requires the main gateway unit to control all of the Powerwalls to give them instructions on how much they discharge and charge, he said. The gateway is being overloaded, reaching 100% CPU and RAM usage. There's too much info when they're all online. Well, can they upgrade the system? I bet you they can't. Any short amount of time in that state is enough to bring the system to a halt. The whole system just freaks out and reboots. It can take 10 seconds. It can take half an hour. Oh. And you're running your office on this. In addition, Mr. Fragaria says attempts by Tesla to upgrade the system's firmware have fried or corrupted numerous electronic devices, including his front gate, pool pump, air conditioning, motor, and numerous PCs due to repeated power cycling. I mean, wouldn't you have protection between your PCs and I guess you wouldn't. You're probably thinking, oh, it's all good. It's a big battery. It'll be fine. Oh, shit. You need UPSs between... You need a UPS between your little PC, each individual unit, and the super battery, because you can't trust it. Just, buy them off-brand, an off-brand knockoff from Umart or something. Hashtag not sponsored, just don't go Tesla. During these upgrade cycles, the system goes into this chaotic state that takes between 4 and 8 hours, turning off and on 50 times. He posted multiple videos on YouTube and TikTok, begging for advice on the Tesla Reddit forums, and tweeted directly at Musk to no avail. Yeah, they don't give a shit. You don't matter. You paid them the money. That's fine. Okay, live with it. What do you think? You reckon they knew what they were doing? Tesla, please refund our 10 Powerwall setup. I'm sick of this. He captioned one TikTok video. Well, what you should be doing is connecting mains power to your house to your network. So it's going to paper over this and sell some of the Powerwalls. Reduce the Powerwalls to the load. Get off this fantasy that you're going to be off the grid. It's not going to happen. Outdoor sports adventure business Archery Attack was severely impacted by COVID. Estimates that he lost at least 3 or 4 weeks of full government IT consulting work. The time was instead spent supporting Tesla with their efforts to try and resolve the issue. Buy a bloody generator! Buy a generator when you're losing 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, what type of business are you running? You buy it, you go out to Bunnings like a normal person and you buy a bloody generator. You don't go bitching and moaning to Tesla. You tell them, okay, Tesla people, solve this fucking problem. Go to Bunnings, get 2 or 3 generators, get your business going. You don't deal with this shit. Come on. Oh, what? Am I just too old for this? Am I a different generation? Seriously, go to Bunnings, buy a few generators. You can get the nice inverter ones that can power your electrical systems. They'll be fine. Buy a few UPSs to smooth it all out, just in case. 20,000 of hardware and personal time lost in damages on the conservative side. Well, mate, that's why you're going down this path. You didn't want to dig up the yard. Look at this. It's not, how remote are you? Tesla keeps giving him non-committal responses. You're dealing with an American company too. They just say, thanks for letting us know you're having an issue. I seem to be stuck with engineering, he said. I haven't been able to talk to anyone regarding how we reach a resolution. Is refund an option? You're going to have to take him to court. Under ACL, consumers are entitled to a refund or replacement when a product has a major problem. He believes after 18 months of failed repairs, he's in a position to request a refund, but it will likely require costly legal action against Tesla. Here we go. Should a government employee, if he's doing contract work for the government, be getting government loans to build all this infrastructure? I mean, it's just all bullshit, isn't it? Get a bloody generator, mate. Come on. News.com contacted Tesla. The company instead reached out to discuss compensation. He said he was told the goal was still to fix the issue, but he simply wants to remove myself from Tesla. I was a massive fan, but I don't want to touch their products anymore. Well, you got a dose of reality, mate. And a whole shitload of Victorians are going to get a dose of reality too, eh? I was a massive fan until I couldn't afford to heat my house anymore, or they took my gas away. Given how long it's taken for a resolution and how problematic it is, I'm just not excited about Tesla anymore. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. He also wants Tesla to remove from its website that it can go off-grid. They shouldn't advertise it. The most confusing and contentious point for me is that Tesla seems to express that off-grid Powerwalls cannot guarantee 100% uptime. But this was never expressed to me during deployment. And had I known that, I would not have embarked on this journey. Well, it's variable renewables. What do you think? It's all bullshit. It's not reliable. So let's have a talk about this guy. You go to Bunnings, buy a generator. You go to buy a little 40 or 20 litre jerry can. You drive to the petrol station. You fill it up with petrol. You take the generator to your office. You plug it in, start it up, get your staff working. You make it Tesla's problem to get the power up and running. 4 weeks? Should be 2 days before you find a solution like that. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I do not get it, guys. Explain to me, please. This feels like he's a super fan, a fanatic that's gone down this path, and he's learned a bloody hard lesson. This is why you don't go off grid when you don't need to. There's probably some preppers that'll do a better bloody job than Tesla setting up an off-grid system. Some guy that used to have a beard like me, out bush, stacking his silver, living the good life, probably has an awesome off-grid system. Running like a treat, humming along, and got all his electronic devices running on like half a watt. Got to save the power. So guys, let this be a warning. We're heading down this path just on a national scale. You know that, don't you? This whole push for renewables. variable renewable energy that needs to be re-energized, and that makes the whole embodied energy benefits go out the window. They're trying to store power from solar panels in batteries when we've already got stored power in coal. I guess, you can lead a horse to water, can't you? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. What do you reckon? Would you have dug up the yard? Or would you put over 200 grand in a bloody Tesla stuff? Shit. As always, thanks for watching. Check out my other channels, HeiseBim and HeiseSays International. If you're a fan and enjoy the content that we create here, there are a few ways you can help out. You can support us financially on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. One way to save money on not needing air conditioning is just to shave your beard off when it gets bloody hot. It's like it's winter again. The more you know.